Have you ever wondered how to get into commercial real estate investing? Well, we're going to talk about that on today's episode. And did you know the most successful real estate investors are in commercial real estate? Anyways, let's get started right now and get into it. A lot of people, just like myself, thought how difficult commercial real estate could be. In this episode, we're gonna show you that it's actually easier than you might think to get going in commercial real estate investing. Also, all the different opportunities in commercial real estate. We're gonna go through this and we're gonna actually unmask so you could see all the different opportunities and maybe make you a little bit more comfortable in getting going in commercial real estate investing. So stay tuned, let's get going. Commercial real estate investing, in my opinion, is easier than residential. And there's a huge upside on it as well. A lot of people just don't talk about it because a lot of people aren't sharing the information like I am with you guys right now. So let's talk about a few things that have worked for me. One thing to do is find somebody else that's successful in the industry. In just like any profession, if you want what they have, do what they've done, get what they've got. So I've had really good commercial real estate investors that I've worked with over the years to keep elevating my game. I continue to elevate my game by working with a mentor, something that you may want to look into as well. Find somebody that's been there and done it and doing it. There's a lot less competition in commercial real estate. So in residential, everybody kind of understands how it goes. If you're fixing and flipping or wholesaling, whatever it is, like there's so much competition in that space. Everybody's doing it. Everybody needs a house to live in, so on and so on. TV shows about it. Commercial real estate, kind of a secret, right? Nobody talks about it. Like, look at that building. What's this one do? How do I get into this? And it seems so like big numbers, like so much money. It gets a little scary, like what to do or how to get into it. It's really about identifying the different buckets of opportunity in commercial real estate investing. So you have your traditional, like let's just say the natural progression that I've seen people go through is you go from single family investing, maybe you're buying houses or condos, and then you get into multi. Maybe you get a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex. Multifamily is anything really over one, so two. But once you get into 5 or more units, you get into more of the commercial lending aspect, right? So it scares a lot of regular investors off, or people that have just been doing fix and flips or fix and holds their entire career. You have the multifamily that could be, anywhere from 2 to hundreds of units. Then you have office, so getting into office space, and then you could get into retail or industrial like warehouses, storage units, things like that. So there's all these different buckets that you could get into in real estate investing. So the biggest thing is just knowing what's going on in the market. Right now, we have this pandemic still going on, and we have people working remotely and not in an office. So that has affected the office space in commercial real estate, right? So one thing that an area of opportunity to look at is maybe switching office into multifamily. You could convert things like that. You have to check with your, building codes and things like that in your area. But these are different opportunities, and the more that you're in it, you'll find and identify these different opportunities. So typically, you have a business or business owner, could be a business that owns these assets, and typically they're not emotionally attached to the property. When you buy from an individual when they're selling their house, there's a lot of emotion attached to it, right? And there's probably a lot of competition, especially right now. But in doing so, with commercial, they look at it as a business transaction. Like at some point, if they're spending too much money on a monthly basis and they're not renting and they're unable to sell, maybe you're their only hope. And in doing so, in acquiring or making an offer, I always ask for seller financing. I ask them to actually hold the paper or be the bank when I buy the property. The reason why I ask for seller financing, the reason I get it at least 50% of the time, is because it's a dead asset. When you go and buy a house, what does a mortgage company look at when they give you a loan? They look at your credit and your income. In commercial real estate, yeah, they look at that, but they're looking at that asset specifically, like what is that thing producing on a monthly basis? and how much deferred maintenance or how much work does it need. So if you have a property that does not make any money, it doesn't make sense for a bank to do. They're looking at it like, if I have to take this asset back, it's producing nothing. The value is zero to them. Almost the same as that person that's selling it right now. They have no money coming in from cash flow. They have a dead asset. I call it in distress. It may not be in foreclosure, but it's a distressed asset. So typically think about it like this. If you put yourself in their position or in their spot, if they have no money coming in, well, sure as heck, there's money going out every month in what? Utilities, maintenance, taxes, insurance, all of these different areas. They have to pay on a monthly basis, quarterly, annually. So they're actually losing money on this asset. So if you think about it, like you come in and you say, hey, I'd like to buy your building. I'm going to offer you X, but I need you to do seller financing. I'm going to give you a certain amount down, call it 10, 20% down. So now they have some money in their pocket, right, that they didn't have before. Guess what else they're not doing? They're not writing checks every month. You're writing those checks. Now, guess what else they're getting? They're getting the opposite. They're getting money in their mailbox every month for the payment that they couldn't get before, right? So it's a complete 180 shift for them. They get money in their pocket and they get a residual income every month from the asset that they're selling to you. Now that's where, a lot of people say, hey, John, why would someone want to do seller financing with you? Well, I just pointed that out. If you think about it, like a dead asset into, someone else coming in and doing the heavy lifting, typically a lot of the buildings that we acquire need help. They need a facelift. They need someone to come in, fix the facade, if you will. They also need someone to come in and lease up the building. So that's what we do. If you think about it, that person's probably rooting for me. I hope they're not. But that person's probably rooting for me to default so they could take that building back with all this cash flow coming in now. It's, repurposed, repositioned. It's got money coming in. They got a chunk of money in their pocket. I just did all the work for them. So typically, that's why I get seller financing. And it's a huge opportunity. And unlike residential real estate where I have to go in, I have to put new kitchens in and do all this crazy work, it's usually not the case in commercial. I'm fixing the facade and making it look beautiful because they're going to come in and do the work that they need to do on the inside, that tenant. It's called tenant improvements. They're going to come in and improve it. Sometimes we have people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars of their own money improving what? Your asset. So again, and guess what? I get that appreciation as well. Then I could go through and I could refinance it. Guess what else I get? There's a little tip. I get a chance when I do seller financing to come in and renegotiate my payoff with the person that's holding the note. In doing so, if I'm paying it off early, like let's say with the seller financing, typically I offer a 5% interest-only payment for 5 years. The 5 years is a balloon payment. So let's say at year 2, I have everything repositioned. I have good cash flow coming in. Instead of paying a 5% interest only, maybe I could get to a 4% interest rate and do principal and interest and actually start attacking that principal balance. So in doing so, I often ask, hey, I ran into some extra money. Would you mind, I could pay you off early if you wouldn't mind taking a $50,000 haircut, $100,000, whatever it might be. Sometimes they say yes. Most of the time they say no. But it is another opportunity for me to come back at them and get a second chance to renegotiate the original price. If you're liking this video or the content we're talking about right now, there's so much more content that I could bring and continue to bring to you daily in this subject and others as well. So do yourself a favor, bring me into your household every day by clicking the subscribe button below, and I'm gonna come in, we're gonna have like coffee and real estate conversation together every single day. You could even make a comment below if you want, and I'll respond. So we just talked about seller financing. Some other things that have helped me become a good commercial real estate investor is working with a phenomenal or very well-established commercial real estate broker. Why is this important? Because they're going to be able to share with you opportunities before they even get to the market. Having that relationship is so important. I know a lot of people work with several different residential real estate agents. I have one solid commercial real estate agent that I work with, and we do pretty much every deal together. We've probably done 40 deals together. So the importance about having a good broker is they're going to be able, again, to bring you those deals. They're also going to keep you updated on what's going on in the commercial space, and they'll probably bring you several different types of opportunity. Again, like right now in this market, we've talked about things like office to multifamily. There's also, if you guys think about it, what's happened over the last year and a half, almost 2 years now. That is, the hotel industry has been a little flat because of the COVID restrictions. People aren't traveling as much. And so these hotels are in distress. They are actually in financial distress, a lot of them. So being able to go in, pick up these for pennies on the dollars, and turning them into multifamily is a huge opportunity in the space right now. Because what's low? Like if you're an investor, a traditional residential investor right now, what's hard to find? Yeah, a house to fix and flip or to buy and hold. These opportunities are so tight right now. So being able to take a hotel and turn that into an apartment, you can do that. Some of them have kitchenettes in them. Some of them you have to add. You got to factor that in. But we could show you exactly how to do that too. These are some of the huge opportunities that are going on right now, probably in your backyard. Commercial real estate has a cycle just like residential. So when things pull back, like people not working from the office anymore, what that tells me, that's an opportunity. Instead of recoiling and going, oh my gosh, this market, something's happening, be like, oh my gosh, there's an opportunity here that I need to take a look at. Whenever anything contracts, you have to think, whoever owns that asset is looking for an opportunity to exit. You may be their savior, and you may be able to capitalize on it as well. We did a lot of that when COVID first hit and continue to. And the opportunities, as soon as something shifts, it's like a pendulum shift. There's an opportunity in that shift, and then you get to catch it and get the huge upside when it swings back. So pay attention to those opportunities. So thank you for watching. My team and I have put together a comprehensive commercial real estate checklist, which is basically an evaluation of the properties that you're looking at and figuring out what are they worth and what's the upside potential on them, how much money can I make. So that is yours for free. All you have to do is click on the link in the description and it's yours for free. Thank you.